All right, Joe Ducar here. We're here with the man, Magic Mac, and we came up with an awesome topic today. We want to talk about some advice we give to our 21-year-old selves. So we are over 30 now.
I'm 34. I just turned 34.
We're old. We're old. I'm 33 myself as well right now. So
It was just your birthday too by the time of this recording.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
Thank
That's
you.
actually why I came to Austin from Calgary to celebrate my best friend's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So, so we thought we are going to give some advice we'd give to our 21-year-old selves. So I'll kick it off with the first thing I would do. You know, we always think if we could go back, right? If we could go back 10 years, what would we do differently, right? What would we change? And the first thing that I would do, now, I did things a little bit out of order. I had a lot of weight to lose. I had a lot of social skills to build. So I really jumped into the weight loss and the social skills. And I probably wouldn't change that. I think it's awesome. And that's what I wound up doing. You know, I became a fitness trainer and then, teaching guys the social skills as well. So I really can't say I'd change that personally. But if there's anything I would go back, and general advice I'd give to 21-year-olds, I would definitely say to get your money right first. There's no doubt about it.
Why is that?
And I tell guys that because guys will say in the forums, I want to work on my game, want to get my skills up. And I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm 20, I'm 21, I'm in college. And I'm like, dude, get your career, get your money right, and then you could hire one of these pickup coaches. They'll come and live with you if you can just have an extra bedroom. You have an extra bedroom, give them $1,000, they'll live with you for 3 months, and you'll get your skills pretty quick. So when you have the money, you can pay to learn from somebody very quickly and get the skills so much faster than trying to read the books and go out and do it on your own and try to wing it on your own. Just paying someone. I mean, I have guys who take a boot camp with me, and they'll learn what took me 2 years to learn. They'll learn that in 2 nights. By the second night, they'll be having long conversations, getting numbers, and that took me, probably a couple years to get to the point where I was pretty solid at approaching women. So I would definitely say get your money right first, because then all the other things that you want to work on, you could pay to learn those much quicker.
So just to build on to what Joe said, the advice that I would give to my younger self, and this was my mistake when I was younger, I had a severe case of one-nightitis. Fell in love with the first girl who showed any interest towards me. So if I can go back in time, I would say don't get into a serious relationship when you're young, because you want to, like when you're in your 20s, that's a time to acquire as much life experience as you can. Travel, meet a lot of people, and read a lot of books and just acquire as much life experience as you can. And it's hard to do that if you're dating someone, and also when you're young, you don't know yourself well enough and you don't know what you want in a relationship. So to limit your experience in that area by tying yourself down with one person, I think that's a big mistake that I made, and I've seen a lot of people make too, because they get to their 20s, late 20s and early 30s. At that point, most people, at least the people that I know, they have more financial responsibility, like the condo, the car. I think at that point there's more societal pressure to have kids, especially in my culture. I'm Filipino, and we're expected to pump babies.
Kid after kid, dude.
At like 21 to 25. So I think at a young age, the advice that I would give to my younger self is, don't get into a serious relationship and acquire as much life experience as you can. And also from a social skills perspective, the more interesting things you've done, the more interesting you're gonna become in conversation. Because let's be real, if your typical day is going to work, going home, watching TV, hanging out with your girlfriend, I mean, she might be a great girl, I understand, but you're not gonna have a lot of things to talk about because you don't have a lot to talk about, because you don't have a lot of life experience. So what about you? Anything else?
Yeah, man, I got definitely my next one that I want to share is super, super, super important. And this goes for no matter what age you are, okay? And the thing that I want to share with you guys, if you haven't already got this one, man, you really got to get this one. And it's, you're always going to want more, okay? So you can't wait till everything's perfect, okay? And even, it kind of goes against my first point, which is get your money right first, right? But even while you're waiting to get your money right, or you're waiting to get into shape, or you're waiting to get your game up, or you're waiting to, get your confidence or your experience or all these other things, what happens is you wind up delaying doing anything or going after things that you want in your life. Look, put your money first, put your career first, get your money right. But in the meantime, have some fun with your friends. Take a travel opportunity if you have it. You know, go after those things that you want. Make a bucket list of things you want to do and try to do those. Because I remember when I hit 30, I was like, damn. I was like, all these things I thought I was going to do, I still haven't done by now, and I'm 30 now, right? And I'm afraid, you know, what happens when I hit 40 or 50 and all these things that I thought I was going to do at some point that I never did. So make sure along the way that, you know, you go after the girls that you want, that you do those things that you really desire, that you have on your bucket list. One cool thing that I like to do is I have a note in my iPhone called bucket list, and anytime I think of something that I would like to do or experience that I haven't done yet, I add it to that bucket list note.
Anything you want to share? Recently, like
Camping.
camping.
I heard it's intense.
You haven't been?
No, I haven't. No. So I want to go on a camping trip where I really go out and live, you know, in a tent or whatever, you know, even for a couple days or something like that. I have not done that. You know, there's a couple cities I haven't been to. I'm going to one of them next week. And then I'll go to another one next year with a buddy of mine. So I'm making sure that I go to all these places that I want to go, that I want to experience, because we'll always think, okay, we'll do this later. We'll do this another time. We'll do this another time. I'll hang out with this person in the future. Maybe we'll get together at some point down the line when I have this, when I have that. But when you have the game, you're always going to want more game. When you have your skills with the women, you're going to want more. When you have the body you have, you're going to want more abs, right, and lower body fat. When you have the money you thought that you wanted, you're going to want more money. You're always going to want more. So you can't wait for this destination that keeps changing. Anything you want to do, make sure that if you have the opportunity and you can make it happen, you make it happen so that you don't live with any regrets, man. That's really important.
For me, I would say another piece of advice that I would give to my younger self is to really focus on having a mindfulness practice. So Joe would know this, you know, like for the last 7 years, I have not missed a morning where I didn't journal, I didn't meditate, I didn't come up with things that I like about myself. Because, so, you know, full transparency, when I was younger, and, you know, if you've watched my old videos in Joe's channel, you know, I shared that I'm an immigrant, moved to Canada when I was 17 years old, didn't speak English, and for the longest time, I actually hated the fact that I was short and I looked different compared to everybody else. And because of that, you know, because I felt less than, I didn't recognize my own uniqueness and my own greatness. I felt like I held back on a lot of opportunities to connect with people just because I didn't feel good enough. So if I can give a really important piece of advice to myself 10 years ago, I would start the mindfulness practice very early on. You know, just getting my thoughts straight. You know, like removing any limiting beliefs that I have. And you know, just focusing more on what goes on in my head. So again, you know, through meditation, journaling, and focusing on my positive traits instead of my negative traits, because no one's perfect. We all have flaws, but at the same time, we all have natural strengths that's unique to us. You know, like, you know, I have natural advantages in other areas compared to other people. So just, you know, making sure that I don't compare myself unfavorably to other people. You know, like Joe is, so I'm 5'5", Joe's like a foot taller than me, but never once did I ever felt intimidated, because I know for a fact that, you know, there are some areas in my life that I'm better, and you know, so are you. There's a lot of areas where you're better. So instead of comparing, I just feel inspired. And also, I'm at a point now where I know what's within my control and what's not within my control, and I just put all my attention and energy on things that I can actually change and do something about. And those that I can't, I learn to accept and just let go.
That's beautiful, man. I love that. And I just thought of one more I wanted to add on here is, now this is a little different. Now when I was 21, social media wasn't that huge, right? So I didn't have as much of a distraction, but definitely, if I could say this to a younger self, if there's someone younger watching, or no matter what age you are, do not waste your time, especially wasting your time on social media, on things like watching porn or whatever, and just this mindless stuff that you have to ask yourself. The question to ask yourself if you're wasting time on something is, does this serve me, or does it do me a disservice, right? Is this helping me? Is this making me happier? Or is this distracting me and not making me happier? Now that being said, me and Mike went to the movies last night. You know, we watched a couple movies while he was here. There's some times where it's like 8, 9 p.m. You want some downtime. You watch a movie, you know, and some guys play video games. I've been afraid of those because I'm afraid I'll play them for hours on end, so I don't have those.
At least the movie ends, right?
At least the movie ends,
Yeah.
right? With the video game, there's always some more to keep going, so you got to be
another
careful
level.
with that one. But like even now, Instagram, I spend probably less than a half hour a week on. I just have it on my computer, not on my cell phone, and I just go in and check my messages every few days. Some weeks I spend 5 minutes on there total, right? Where I used to spend 1 to 2 hours a day just scrolling through Instagram, looking at girls, looking at memes, liking pictures, responding, messaging people, looking at people's stories, which I really don't care. Why do I care what someone else is doing on their story when I could go out and be doing that and having fun myself?
What's an aha moment for you? Like what switched?
Well,
Especially with the Instagram.
Well, yeah, I used to be very big into it, and I used to do Instagram marketing, so I had to have a nice Instagram myself as well too, so that was important. I got a good vein going on there. Look at that. I lost 40 pounds this year, though. Proud of myself. Yeah, so I just started to ask myself, what am I getting from this, right? And it started to actually make me feel a lot of anxiety, and like I was too concerned what other people were doing. And then like if a girl didn't text me back, and then I'd go on her Instagram and she was posting stories like, oh, she didn't message me back, and now she's posting stories.
Yeah.
And I was like doing all this dumb stuff. And I was like, why do I care about what these girls are doing and anyone else? Like, I'm just gonna go out and approach and make stuff happen in real life. It doesn't happen. Forget a virtual relationship at all. These virtual relationships are not serving me at all. And then a friend of mine said 30-day challenge. It was in April. And he's like, who wants to do a 30-day challenge? I was like, I'll do 30 days without Instagram. And that turned into almost, since then, I haven't really put it back. I downloaded the web app, like I said, so I barely check it. But I just noticed I felt so much better. I was more in the moment. I was more present. And this sounds crazy, but this is very true. I'll be out in a public setting and I'll get a lot of eye contact from people, way more than other people, because I'm so present and I'm so there that I'm focused and I'm so extroverted that people will look and like notice me more, because a lot of people walk around in that daze.
Oh my God.
And they're on the phone,
Terrible.
they're so in their own head, they're not looking around. But I go around, I look at people, I take things in, and people notice that and they'll make eye contact. It makes it easier to have conversations, see what girls are interested in you and all that type of stuff. So it's been very awesome for me. I think a healthy relationship with social media is if you do something cool and you want to have like a little portfolio as your Instagram, post a picture when you travel, or if you do something cool, at maximum once a week, maybe every other week or something like that. You post something that you do so you have it on your thing. You can show people like a business card. That's totally fine. But being on there every day, watching people's stories, posting all your stories, dude, nobody cares what food you're eating. Everyone's and their grandmother are posting stories nowadays, so you have a lot of competition in there. I just found it didn't serve me, so I would really say don't waste your time with stuff that is not serving. You can spend it better hanging with friends, socializing, working on your goals, reading books, even journaling would be 10 times better of a way to use your time than social media.
Just to add to what you said, have you read the book called Deep Work by Cal Newport? So that book really changed my life, and I'm pretty sure you recommended it.
Yeah,
so,
it's huge.
so for you guys who haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. But I do want to share a nugget that I learned from Deep Work, just to build on to what Joe said. So, the way things are progressing, a lot of things are being automated, right? So if you don't have, like a really valuable skill, you're gonna be out of a job very quickly. So now your ability to focus and do deep work and acquire and reach the next level or whatever skill set you have, it's gonna make you a more valuable person, not just in the workplace, but also for yourself, right? The less distracted you are and the more you can focus on the task at hand. And I noticed that, even for me, if I'm on social media for too long, I'll be writing an email and I'll grab my phone for no reason. And I'm like, why did I do that, right? So now I just lost my train of thought.
Attention residue.
With this content that I'm writing, which could have been, a lot more valuable because, I'm creating a piece of content which would outlive me, but I'm using my mind so distracted with all the constant, stimulation from social media, with the likes, the comments, and who's watching my stories or whatever. I noticed that it really affected my ability to focus and increase my skill sets, not just professionally, but also personally. So highly recommend that book. That thought just popped in my head because it's so related to what you said about, limiting your time to social media.
Agreed, man. Well, thanks, Mike, for being on, man. I love this guy. I'm going to have a link to Mike's channel down below, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel and his channel, and we'll have some awesome content for you coming up, guys. Thanks for watching.